Harrikinga van de kinders te aan de Miriam hadden de sidderva in de karke de norke de stenalava de rakiava maar hele de kinders propaganda just to win me propaganda just to win me propaganda just to win me propaganda just to hit.
Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of The Propagandist, where we go over several propaganda films or images from throughout history from various countries. This first episode we shall cover The Millionaire, a Soviet propaganda film against Americans, specifically the government and the rich. I'll pop back in when there is something juicy to say or to point out some small details that may otherwise be missed. Alright, we'll watch ahead and I'll see you in a minute. Our first example of anti-American sentiment in this video is the supposed millionaire driving a convertible versus the other uniformed cars in the road. On top of that, you can see that all of the cars on the road have a certain uniformity, but they also have a town car vibe to them, making it seem as if every American has money to waste and spend on unnecessary objects.
Богатая старуха в одной стране жила. Богатая старуха внезапно умерла. Остался без хозяйки угрюм и одинок, такой же, как хозяйка, породистый бульдог.
Yes, the common theme of referring to Americans or rich Americans as dogs. The people who will bark at the enemy and do as they're told by the people above them without question. This is a very common theme in most Soviet propaganda where the American people, or the people in charge even, are nothing but dogs to the people above them.
Имела та старуха племянников родных, а также по закону наследников иных.
This part I actually thought was pretty clever. It shows the underprivileged bulldog being sort of thrown out of their so-called rightful place by someone who is above them, again showing the underlings being treated like a dog. But in essence, will show later that the underprivileged, or the ones who are considered to be weaker or lesser, will gain power and get to the same level as the people who were mistreating him in the first place.
Имела та старуха солидный капитал.
And here we have the so-called common American, as seen by Soviet Russia, only caring about themselves and money. They are at a relative's funeral, to which they had an untimely demise, even though she was of age and pretty old. That even though their loved one has passed on, they only care about the money that they can receive from the situation. This is another common theme in Soviet propaganda. The fact that Americans only care about money and not about the common good of the country or of the people who reside inside it.
Когда ж делить наследство, заветный час настал. Наследники узнали к позору своему, что все, увы, досталось бульдогу одному. Не могут адвокаты за это отвечать. Закон на завещание, есть подпись и печать. Покойница в конторе составила его. Она озолотила.
Now, up until this point, we saw that dog be relatively well behaved. Then, the moment that he received the money from her owner, or his owner, he suddenly got very, very aggressive towards the other people, who, which, may I point out, were throwing a temper tantrum over not getting the money left to the dog. In a way, essentially, the bulldog becomes exactly like that in a split second. No time, no grievances, just once he got the money, he was aggressive.
Зачем собаке деньги? Ходить в универмаг? Бывают разве деньги у кошек и собак? Но стал миллионером осиротевший пес. И стал еще курносей его курносый нос. Квартира в самом центре, на 5-й авеню. Шеф-повар составляет на каждый день меню. На завтрак отбивные, бифштексы на обед.
As you can tell, the dog has many, many servants and people who work for him as a way to cater to his every need, whether it be food, drink, or just helping them look better. This can call back to Karl Marx's readings about the bourgeois and the proletariat, having one person who is living above everyone else and having everyone who lives below him work for him and cater to his needs. This is to further instill Karl Marx's ideologies on the people of the Soviet Union. This way, the people think that they would be treated unfairly if capitalism were to take over, and because of this, they would do anything to stop the spread.
На ужин фрикадельки, сардины и паштет. Он ездит на курорт, здоровье бережет. По средам парикмахер под бокс его стрижет. Есть у бульдога вилла и новый кадиллак.
This transformation of the bulldog from the proletariat to the bourgeois is very quick, and as he is shown in this scene right here, this is a very common depiction of the rich: a cigar in hand, a cane, a top hat, bow tie, and tuxedo. They are also shown going off to visit the nightlife of the city. With the nightlife comes excess, and with excess comes laziness, as said from many Soviet outlets.
надрывный свист, бульдог танцует в баре, собачий волк виски.
see the Soviets trying to paint rich people as dogs again. Also notice the slight color change to a more sinister shade. From when they go from standing, it is bright and colorful, but when they're acting like dogs, it gets darker and a little more sinister. Even the city is a little menacing with this coloring. This is showing that capitalism and the rich are something to be feared rather than obeyed or to be sought after.
Он ходит на приемы, и там коктейли пьет. Знакомых собачонок уже не узнает.
This can be seen in one of two ways. Either that the rich will start ignoring what they consider to be lesser than them, or that they will abandon the people that they once knew and loved because they gained wealth and considered themselves above them. In the end, this all boils down to showing the people of the Soviet Union that everyone who is rich thinks that they are better than the rest of the people in the country, and no longer care for their so-called underlings, their former friends, or their past lives.
Он в клуб миллионеров записан как банкир. У них он научился рычать при слове «мир».
This was a clever way of telling the people of the Soviet Union that the rich of America and the heads of America do not want peace. They even show that they are dogs like the bulldog and will attack at a moment's notice.
Печатают газеты с бульдогом интервью. Бульдог в них излагает позицию свою, собачью точку зрения на космос, на прогресс.
Yes, but of course, the rich know what the country needs. The rich will lead us. And even in this newspaper column, you can see the chains that person is in. This was to show to the Soviet people that America sought them in chains, and that the rich wanted to lead everyone with their quote-unquote special point of view.
И вот уже он избран на выборах в Конгресс.
Up until now, the American people have not really been shown, only the rich have. But now we see that the Soviet people are being shown that the Americans want the rich people in power, and they want to fight as shown by the military line here, and the separate cheering from the people in the parade. The rich almost seem to be, in a way, worshipped in this propaganda film, to the point where they will go by their every word. If they state their special opinion, the American people will vote for them, and they will listen to their calls for war.
Приятно ход событий, он как сенатор стал. Чего не может только наделать капитал.
And there you have it, the Soviet propaganda film, The Millionaire. As you can see, the Soviet Union liked to show their people that the rich were not to be trusted, and that with a simple whim could control an entire country, as they are trying to get their people to believe is being done with the United States. To show that they are in danger of the rich sending their soldiers to fight them and destroy their way of life. That the rich thought that their opinions were above everyone else and were not to be trusted. That the rich shouldn't exist. And in the communists, what they thought was a utopia then, that was the message that they wanted everyone to think, so that no one stepped out of line, so that no one questioned their communist country. They wanted the people to believe that their way of life was better than the way of the Americans, who they wanted to depict as easily controlled by their excess, by their things that they wanted, and not contribute to society. They wanted their people to contribute 100% to society and not care about themselves, just for the greater good. This has been The Propagandist, and we'll see you in the next video where we cover American propaganda on Soviet Russia. Farewell.
And the killers, they are mad, and the cabinet, the more propaganda.